Hey guys, Clumsy here. Welcome back to Flight Sim 2020 ad hoc stream today, and no face cam. I wasn't able to prepare my webcam, but I did want to fly, so here we are. Just continuing our tour of the UK thanks to Skypark. Where are we right now? Somewhere in here. So I was flying offline a while ago. We ended up in Norwich, and we'll be making our ways northwest to, what do you call this place? We'll see later, but I'll load it up bit by bit. Hey Forbin, thanks for joining. 10 PM right now there. Wow, thanks for making it to this very ad hoc stream. The usual guys I expect are not present right now. It's a very different time from when I usually stream. But thanks, glad you made it. Enjoying my flight from Colorado. Ah, nice. That's what it was. Cool. Now we'll be flying in the UK though. Anyway, let me load this up, and we'll try to also load in Bushtalk radio if I can make that work again. The lady who tells us about the different points of interest. That will be nice. Let's go and see Norwich here. What time is it right now? 4:57, is it? Wow. Alright, let's change that a bit. Maybe around... Let's make it what time it is right now here where I am, which is around 1 PM. That would work. Let's not start on the runway though. Let's start in one of the ramps here. 184 at 31. Imagine that, 184 at 31 knots. I'm not even sure if we can take off that way, but yes, the winds are exactly perpendicular, so 90 degrees off. That means it's as crosswindy as it can get. We might have to change the weather here if we continue that way. Yar, Jack! Wow, you're awake already? Doubtful, or you're still awake, is that it? Hey, Swappy! Glad you were able to drop by. How are things? Usually I come in live at 5 PM your time. Yeah, that's true. I do want to visit in real life eventually. I have not had the chance to do so yet. Let's go and fly there. And let me turn off the preview so we get faster frames. Doing good, man, doing good. I was supposed to record a video today for tomorrow, and I thought, why don't I just stream? That might work as well. So here we are. Just watch the Meg. What is that? I'm not familiar with that movie. Is that movie? Finished Homeland, by the way. Apparently that was the show ender, the series finale that I was watching. So good. So good. It was, I think, the best way they could have ended that. Let me load up Bushtalk radio here. And let me see if we'll find some points of interest along the way. Norwich. I think there is something. Scolt Head Island. Does that sound familiar to you guys? Offshore barrier island between Brancaster and Wells next to sea in Norfolk. You made it through season 2 of Homeland. Admittedly, it's not all fun in that series. I've had a lot of I think they've had some rough seasons as well, but overall I'm really enjoying the latest season, season 8. Bushtalk radio. Let's log in here and let's see if it works. I hope this is right. Log in. There we go, that's working. That should detect where we are. So there is a companion website for this, and that's where we are in Norwich. We can track ourselves automatically, and we'll be making our way. Let me have a look at Skypark here. So let's resume the trip, and we need to go to Humberside, where there is the Humber Bridge. We definitely will be taking a photo there. Echo Golf November Juliet. So northwest. Yeah, that looks good. And along the way though, Humberside, let's see if we can find that here. I don't think it even pops up in here. But what we can do is go and visit these manually. Scolt Head Island. That's one landmark for sure. So we can just probably eyeball it and see what kind of heading we'll need to get there. Right, I'll figure things out later. Now what I'm wanting to do is, can I close that? And will that disconnect me? Okay, I think it's still working in the background. Perfect. Alright. East Anglia. That sounds so familiar. I think I hear that a lot in the, what was that series? Last Kingdom. It's a nice series. The mega's about Jason Statham saving everyone from a megalodon. Ah, yes. I kind of remember that, yes. Sounds pretty... Is interesting the word? One sec, let me close a bit the curtains. It's a bit shiny. Alright, so we are on a different plane now. The first time we did this, we were on the 172. But I figured a faster plane might work better for us. So here we are. Turn on the batteries. Acknowledge that. Love the sounds on this plane. Let's tune up the lights. And as always, we have properly overcast skies in the UK. I think that's pretty accurate, right? Rudder pedals are working. Yoke is working. That's a good sign. Boost bump. Prop full, mixture full, and I think throttle full as well. I'll get it working eventually. If I manage to figure out how to work this out. There we go. Easy peasy. Turn off the boost pump, elevator trim on, avionics can go on. Let's turn on our transponder here. Close the door. Boring, dull, waste of time. Last Kingdom, yes, it's so good. Big English and Viking history buff. I like also the Viking series. I also like very much. And I like that it's taking a different direction now. I'm watching the latest season, I think. And I like that it's not anymore centered around the UK. Now I think they are getting more into the Russian side, the East, the Silk Road and stuff like that. Echo Golf November Juliet. Let's go and plug that in. Echo Golf. It's a bit manual, sorry guys. I was actually half tempted to try and stream in YouTube, but setting it up requires a lot of prep work and I was too lazy. So here we are in Twitch. Humberside, that's the one. I think what I want to do is go just direct there. That's not really the one. Direct. Sorry, How do I select that from the flight plan? One second. Select that. Go direct. There we go. Enter. That's the one. Okay. Good. Alright. Nighttime in overcast. That sounds more like it. There we go. It's a bit more quiet. Turn on our nav lights, recog taxi lights. Sounding much better there. Now where the heck is the stuff here? Where's the runway? That's a good question. I think I'll need little nav map's help. To nav map, where are you? I think it's runway 9er that we're targeting. Runway 9er is to the right. Okay, so it's this straight on taxiway at the end of this will be runway 9er. Runway 09er. Very UK weather indeed. Why is the rudder so finicky? 1 second. Let's double check that one bit. If you go to rudder sensitivity. Oh. No, that's there. Let me try and make this -50 again. That might actually work. Let's see if that changes things. Come on, -50. Oh, my OCD is good. there. Oh, the heck with it. -51 shouldn't be a big deal. There you go. Okay. No, don't reset it. Okay. Let's try that then. Apply. I think the latest patch changed it. It's a bit too sensitive now. Hey, amplify. We're in the UK, we're in the eastern part of, I think this is still England. And we'll be making our way to the northwest, but we'll be exploring a specific waypoint first before we continue. Winds are coming from the right, so it's going to be pretty crosswindy. Have to be very careful. Flaps for takeoff. Looking good there. Runway is clear. Runway 09 here. Let's take off and see where we get to. Hey Savagad, thanks for joining, guys. Yeah, this is a very much an ad hoc stream, not part of the usual schedule. Aileron deflection all the way to the right, lessening it out. Maintain center line and come on. Whoa, yeah, that's a crosswind takeoff right there. Positive rate. Tap the brakes. Gear up. Let go of the rudder. Whew. That's a lot. And let's continue climbing for now. Get stable. 1 sec, guys. I'll get back to chat in a bit after the workload lightens a bit. Give me a bit of a few seconds here. Okay. Flaps up. Propeller going down. 2300 should be a comfortable level so that it's not too noisy. Let's climb to around 2,000 feet. Might not be too bad. There's an airport right there on the left. Let's lower also the manifold pressure here so we're not too fast. Alright, getting back to chat now. Visit as many castles as you can. I hope to do that as well, even virtually, at the very least. Let me see, are anybody in the vicinity? There we are. There they are. That's beautiful. Actually, that in itself is worth taking a photo of. That might be the thumbnail shot right there. Okay, let's continue climbing to 2,000 feet. Notice the same thing with the rudder on takeoff. Yeah, I think it's something with maybe with the ground effect. They also acknowledge that they have a bug right now in the what do you call this? The flaps department. They accidentally put in too much lift on the flaps, double the lift than what they should have. So some planes are really floating like there's no tomorrow. Lots of people are complaining. Taken off, you should be able to. Oh, that's moving. Okay, actually turn off the lights here. Keep the strobes and nav lights on though. And let me get myself level in here. Right, let's hug the coast. We should eventually find that waypoint, and we should eventually hear the audio for it. And in the meantime, let me trim this out so we don't continue climbing, because we are still climbing. There you go, that's more like it. Are we in Essex? Norwich, is that in Essex? Sorry, I'm absolutely clueless in the UK. You guys will have to help me out. Orbix UK, yes, very much so. Very much so. So good, right? They actually have some very low clouds here. Interesting. I guess legally we shouldn't be flying through them, but let's say no one's checking. Let's hug the coast here so we have some visual guidelines, and we should eventually reach that part. And I would like to hear the lady tour us around there. Scolt Head Island. Some planes don't need takeoff flaps. Yeah, that's true. Like in the 172, the normal way for taking off, you don't need flaps. Although in this plane in particular, you do need it. So there is that. If you look there, this is the flap setting. For takeoff, you could put it to 1 notch. There we go, 2,000 feet. And a bit stabilized, but very windy right now. Is it also windy right back there, Jack, in London? Because it's super windy here in the countryside, you could say. And the winds are terribly misaligned with the runway. So I think most of the airports that we'll be landing in, it will be like a 09er 27 runway, so horizontal, if you can imagine it, and then the winds are vertical. So most of the landings will be crosswind. It's a good practice, I guess, but quite tricky. You will wait for aircraft stability. You just deleted FS 2020? Yeah, no problems with that. Each of us have our own preferences, and yours is flying study level planes, care of Tolis, Zibo, and whatnot, so perfectly understandable. Mine is a bit more of a balance, sightseeing with just enough sim elements. So I'm sticking with FS 2020, despite some questionable things with it at the moment. Hey Patrick, glad you made it. Thanks for joining. It's pretty late there, isn't it? Sorry guys, yeah, sorry for the ad hoc stream. Not part of the schedule at all. Just started flying the Zibo. It's so good, right? Yeah, and it's free. That's what's so unbelievable about it. It's arguably the most study level plane out there. And it's getting updates like every other day or so, sometimes every day, sometimes even more than a day, or more than once a day, I mean. Something along those lines. An extra clumsy stream. Hey Sonoma, glad you made it. What time is it there, guys? 5:16 a.m. Jack. Time to get up. You know, us folks, we have to wake up early, right? We have to stick together. And sorry guys, no face cam today. My face is not ready for a live stream. 2 a.m. Oh my goodness, what are you doing up? Oh, and my goodness, the winds are hammering me. Okay, can do this. Just hand flying the entire way. Enjoying the feel of the yoke against my hands. 12:15 a.m. Tom, glad you made it. Nice seeing the usual suspects in the stream. Thanks guys for adjusting. And sorry for the out of the blue stream. Man, that looks so nice, huh? Some villages off the coast here. And you can actually look. That's one way of knowing how strong the winds are. If you look below at the waves, how the water is reacting, because that is very proportional. So yeah, you see the white stuff, the foamy waves. Look at how strong the winds are over here. My goodness. Yeah. So that kind of wind you see below on sea level, imagine that even stronger up here. Much higher as you go higher. Like the heel of eggs on yours. Egg yolks, you mean? Yeah, close enough. I'll take that. Let's get back to 2,000 feet per minute here. Love the white stuff, yeah. Very nice lighting here. The subtle reflection of the sky against the water as the waves just come crashing through. Very nice. And you have some clouds. This is why I can't leave FS 2020. Despite its imperfections, for me, it gives the most holistic, immersive feel. If you can live with the lack of the simulation elements at the moment. And in some cases, yes, I can very much live with that. Alex! I think Alex would probably be snoring by now. Us folks. He's at it again. I thought I'm one of you guys now. We're on the same team. Oh crap, yeah. Verifying files on Steam for FS 2020 is a big no-no. Not sure why they don't just disable it. I've seen a lot of people having problems with that kind of thing. I think I actually have to flick something here. That one, GPS. So that the HSI, is that what you call this? Or the CDI would adjust based on the waypoint that we have. So what we'll do is we'll hug the coast here. Eventually you see this, that's the flight plan. We'll eventually intercept that and then we'll join. We'll follow it all the way to the airport. You know what? I think it's nicer if you go a bit lower. I think it's nice to get a bit more up close and personal with the coast. That is Coco and Milk and gone to Slumberland. Everybody take a photo of that, take a screenshot, post it in Discord and tag Alex so that when he wakes up, someone will be paying the price. How does the sim feel like now, stability and performance wise? Well, the controls are much better than initial. You might have seen a while ago the sensitivity settings when I was tweaking it. There are a lot more options in there, so that's good. And a lot of the third-party planes are configuring the flight model so that it's a lot more realistic. It's less like a toy. So that's becoming great as well. Yeah, all in all, it's getting better, getting much better. Stability-wise, it is stable until it's not. AI planes, I haven't checked yet. In the last update before this one, the previous update before this latest one, I had problem whenever I had AI, I would get a lot of crashes, crash to desktop. But if I just use live traffic, everything was good. And yeah, multiplayer is working great. You can see all the planes there in the horizon, exploring the UK the same time as us. What is this place? Anyone been here before? It's quite nice. Nice shoreline there. Let's maybe go lower, 500 feet per minute. Or 500 feet altitude, rather. But yeah, if you are hand flying GA planes, I don't think any other sim comes close with the level of immersion you'll be getting from here. So just how beautiful everything is. It's just that at the moment, if you're as an airliner fan, it might be hard to please you because the airliners are all very much still a work in progress. Even the fly-by-wire, even though the fly-by-wire is having great progress, lots of new things. The developers are super active, but it's still not at that level that you can compare to TOLIS, for example. I've heard of reports like sometimes the flight plan is still being ignored. When you have the arrival, the approach, the plane will just go straight to the destination airport, stuff like that. So still a lot of work to be done, but very good progress so far. But basically, if you're an airliner fan, I wouldn't be able to recommend the sim too much yet unless you're just focusing on the eye candy. But the airliner experience, I think, is still a bit raw. But if you're a GA fan, I don't think there's any other sim that can come close. 6 months, hey, super! 6 months and many more. I'm happy to hear that. Thank you, man. Glad you are able to join. How's the weather there? In Seattle, is it? Speaking of Seattle, speaking of Washington, I posted a video in the Flight Sim channel in Discord. And anyone who's not there yet, you're more than welcome to join. Just type in !Discord in chat. I'm sure Jack will be happy. There will be no Alex to race against. But yeah, join the Discord. We share lots of news and stuff there. And we're enjoying hanging out. And I shared a video there. Josh from Aviation 101. He is a content creator in YouTube, a real pilot, and he makes videos, amazing videos. He just released one where they were flying over the different mountains and volcanoes in the Oregon and Washington region. Some of the ones we are familiar with thanks to Truck Sim. St. Helens, I think Mount Rainier is they also went to. But yeah, I think they went to like 4 or 5 different mountains, up close and personal, flying a plane. Beautiful. I would love to recreate that in this sim. I think it will look great as well. Someone still beat you. That's super for you. Rainy and dark, 9:22 p.m. Nice. Oh, looks like it's here somewhere.
Scolt Head Island is an offshore barrier island between Brancaster and Wells next the sea in North Norfolk. It is in the parish of Burnham Norton and is accessed by a seasonal ferry from the village of Overy Stave. The shingle and sand island appears to have originated from a former spit extending from the coast, and longshore drift means that it is slowly moving to the west and inshore. The island comprises sand dunes, salt marsh, intertidal sand and mud flats, and shingle. It supports internationally important numbers of breeding sandwich and little terns, and nationally significant populations of common and Arctic terns, as well as wintering waders and wildfowl. It has a number of uncommon plants adapted to its harsh environments. It was bought by the National Trust in 1923 and became a National Nature Reserve. It was subsumed into the North Norfolk Coast SSSI in 1986. The larger area is now additionally protected through Natura 2000, Special Protection Area and Ramsar listings, and is part of the Norfolk Coast Area of Outstanding Natural Beauty.
Guys, this is 4 minutes long.
The first resident first watcher on Scolt Head was Pioneer.
I think we're good, thank you. That's going to be 4 minutes if I don't stop it. Mount Rainier is the big one near Seattle that they went around. Hey, Dusty. Glad you watched that one as well. For GA and VFR, FS 2020 is where it's at. Definitely agree. Earth simulator with a little bit of flight sim elements. That's true. That's very true. You're patching SF as you watch this. SF San Francisco? Hey! Goodness! Master Gifter at work. Thank you. And welcome to the Cool Kids Club, Dusty. Make sure to join Discord, connect your Twitch account so that you get the benefits, access to the Cool Kids Club channel and others. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Loved watching you fly over St. Helens on one of your flights. Oh yeah, I remember that. We actually went to Seattle there, I think. So legally, I don't think this should be done. At the very least, we should be flying higher. But just don't report it, okay? Because there is another one here. There is another waypoint here. Although I'm not sure if you can find it in the sim. But the lady will tell us something about it. Something about wind farms. So I'm expecting that there should be like wind turbines along this way. So hang tight. Let's just maybe climb to 2,000 feet and let it go. Oh, you know him. Nice. Thanks for pulling him in. Basically, it's a sandbank. Exactly. In so many flowery words. Does it feel weird, guys, without a face cam? Or is it better because you can see the horizon? A lot better, the scenery. That's a trick question, by the way. No, for real. Because I'm thinking, like, I know some of the streamers don't have any face cam. And it can add benefits in some cases, but in some cases it can detract from the immersion. Especially if you don't have a green screen and stuff like that. So let me know which you prefer. Oh, there it is. It actually is in the sim as well. Nice. Right, so let's hear the story from the lady. Let's also go lower again. Let me pull back the throttle here so we start descending. Maybe 1,000 feet per minute, or 1,000 feet per minute to 1,000 feet would be okay. Just make sure to stay away from those turbines. You guys know each other. Oh, but you didn't plan on joining here. Wow. Serendipity. Oh, FS, I see. Your fingers fell asleep at 2. The rest of your body hasn't followed yet. Gotcha. Wow, that is a lot of wind turbines. I remember city skylines from here. Why are we not descending? Come on. Go lower. And also, I think I have to move to the left here because that's not going to work quite yet. Hey, Stacy. Thanks for joining. And welcome to the Cool Kids Club. Thanks again, Super. Kind of have an idea. There you go. This. Mrs. Super, aka Stacy. Is that right? Did I get it right? Sorry, I just have to bank here a bit, guys, because the landmark, the POI, is over here and I want to trigger it automatically. It's not perfectly aligned with where the wind turbines are, but that should be just enough to get us on the right track here. There we go, Mrs. Super indeed. Thank you, guys. Appreciate the company. Alright, here we go. Just 1 minute.
The Lynn and Inner Dowsing wind farms are a pair of round one wind farms located in the North Sea, in the shallow waters at the entrance to the wash off the coast of Lincolnshire, England. The wind farms were developed as a single unit after planning consent was given in 2003. Construction work began in 2006 and was completed in 2009. The farm has a maximum output of 194 megawatts from 54 Siemens wind power 3.6 to 107 turbines with a generating capacity of 194 megawatts. The capacity factor of the farm has been 31 to 36%.
It's done. The actual content, I think, has some room for improvement, right? I'm sure someone can come up with a more flavorful text there, a little bit more, less trivia or less factual, more, how do you say, catchy? But yeah, that will come in time as some of the, how do you say, less Wikipedia-like, more like conversational kind of trivia would be nice. But still, it's good to have something. It's just a matter of filling in those details. So if you guys have more info about these areas, you can actually submit that on your own. Go to bushtalkradio.com and make the website a better place. You also have the Mooney. Oh yeah, no problem. Feel free to join. Not sure how long I can stream, but we can fly together as long as possible. I'm following the Skypark tour. So going to Echo Golf November Juliet. I forgot which airport that is, but just following it through here. Nice. Wow, my goodness, that's as overcast can get, huh? Let's maybe, thankfully it's still way above, maybe around what, 5,000 feet. So we should have plenty of space below that to just enjoy the scenery. I don't think there are other waypoints in our vicinity. Yeah, just some airports. Okay. Go back to little nav map and see. Also, I have to remember I'm trying out something. A flight recorder, a free flight recorder. You can check it out in the mods list, !mods. Look under the third party application section. I think the lowest, the bottom row should have it. Mr. Nguyen, I hope I'm pronouncing it remotely correctly. I imagine he's Vietnamese. He's the same guy who made the Stream Deck and the Flight Sim integration. He's the same guy behind it. He made a flight recorder for free. So you can record your flights and then replay them later on. So you can watch your landings or you can watch your flight from every other different angle. Super cool stuff. I haven't tested it myself though, so that's why I want to test it right now. One sec guys, I'll get back to chat in a bit. Okay, just continue looking for. Yikes! Golf November. Juliet. Give me a few seconds. I'll get back to you. Humberside. Okay, that's where it is. In terms of winds. Oh, this is actually nice. Okay, for a change, we have some winds that are... Well, the winds are still coming from the south. But this time at least, the runway is facing the same way. So we should be pretty good there. Runway 20 would be where we're landing from. Okay, getting back to chat. Sun is a rare thing. It does seem like it. It does seem like it. The cloud cover is getting thicker and thicker. Getting lower and lower. That seems much closer than how it was a few minutes ago. We'll have to monitor the situation. Hey Nelson, thanks for joining. Welcome to the stream. Sorry for the delayed reply. No competition there, Jack. Congrats. Maybe let's stick to 2,000 feet here if I can stabilize myself. You can just hug the coast because the airport is actually quite close to the coast. What server? You know what? I'm actually not sure. I think I checked it once and never again. Is there an automatic setting? I think I just pick automatic. Is there a way for me to check it right now without having to go back to the main menu? If so, I can do that. We go 121. Yeah, 2,000 feet should be okay. Although I'm seeing some very low clouds here. Let's try and avoid that. Maybe move over to the coast, closer to the coast a bit. Circle around these clouds because it's actually, 6 degrees outside. There's a chance for icing. And this plane is not equipped with anti-ice except for pitot heat. Maybe that's something that we should turn on. Pitot heat, where are you? That's the one. Just to be on the safe side. We don't want our airspeed suddenly dying out on us. The airspeed indicator. Maybe we can also descend. Where did you get those other nameplates? That's also in the mods list. That's part of the UI mod. So you can search in the mods list something called UI mod by I forgot his name, Muggs or something like that. It's cool because it's not only a lot more, it's a lot cleaner, but you can also press backspace and they disappear. So it's perfect for those photo shots, photo ops. And it's the same thing with like points of interest. You can make those points of interest pop up. When you press backspace, the overlay disappears. Very smart. Very useful. Okay. Let's continue descending to maybe 1,500 isn't such a bad idea. Stick with that one. Push escape and check by your name. Okay, let's see. Automatic, Southeast Asia. Not sure you'll get very nice pings there. But we can try at least. Come on, where are you? Very nice all over, even though the lighting isn't the best. Cloud cover is getting thicker and thicker. But I guess it is very much realistic, isn't it? You only have to beat your tiredness. Yes, exactly. Goodness, you're still up. What time do you usually go to bed? Ooh, pretty strong winds. For such low altitude, 1,500 feet, we actually have 44 knots coming from the left here. Coming from the south. Goodness. We're probably crabbing like crazy here. If I go to external view, that would probably show up. Yeah, look at how crabbed we are. We're tracking that way, but we're facing this way. Crosswind much? But yes, the airport itself should have some nice runways for us. Actually, we can try and do an eyeless approach just to make it a bit more interesting. If I can continue flying level like so. If we could go to where is that procedure? There you go. Select the approach. ILS 20 exactly. Yes, I like that. Transition, a Kim transition. 1 second, I'll have to look at little nav map to see what that is. While hand flying this thing, making sure we don't suddenly destabilize here. Give me a few seconds. Kim 1 or Kim 2 or Oscar Tango Romeo. I have no idea. Well, what we can do, can we not pick a no transition, just direct? Okay, we cannot because it's using the default avionics. So let's pick the Oscar Tango Romeo then. I think that will be the best fit. If I can browse there, that's the one. Select it. That's not the right button. Enter. There you go. And then let's activate it. There we go. What the heck was that? Also, I seem to have forgotten to switch fuel tanks. Switch that to the right tank because we only have 15 gallons left on the left, 24 on the right. Might be a bit imbalanced. Oh crap, look at how messy that is. Yeah, welcome to the default flight planner, the default avionics. This is why we need a sim update. That is just messy as heck. So what I can do instead is I can just plug in the nav data, the ILS frequency for this one. Sorry guys, I can't read chat for a bit. Give me a few seconds to catch up, okay? Just aviate, navigate, and communicate with you. 108.75. 108.75. How the heck do you switch that again? Like this one. There you go. 108.75. Switch that to the, there we go, localizer India Hotel Sierra identifier. Is that the one I'm looking for? It is. Okay, perfect. All right, that's good. So if we switch to nav mode here, that should then be the ILS that we're tracking. You can see the glide slope right there, and this is the course, the horizontal deviation. So this one I have to manually align with the runway heading, which I assume would be runway somewhere around 20, and I am going above. One second. Panicking like crazy. 20. Ooh, getting into some clouds. No, descent. Okay, I am with you guys. Okay. Ground winds can gust even more. Played golf there and that was an interesting experience. Oh my goodness. Bet those were flying all over the place, huh? Okay, looking good. Let's keep that cloud cover is getting lower. 1,500 doesn't seem like it'll cut it anymore. I think we'll have to maybe descend to 1,000 or so. Let's turn on our lights here. Looks good. Lights are on. Airport is on the left. Should have visual on the, there it is. There's the runway. Dusty is there already. Nice. I see you. Okay. So let's go, and at least we have some visual aids for the descent here. What I'll have to do is I'll have to slow down by a lot. And with that, I think I can make use of our speed brakes right there. Slow down to 140 knots. First notch of flaps going down. Looking good. Okay, retract the speed brakes. Yeah, this plane actually has speed brakes because it really just flies so fast. There you go. There's the localizer moving. There we are. We are pretty low here, so we'll try and stay level for the moment. Landing gear going down. Just keep this altitude. Come on, capture that glide slope. Once that glide slope indicator moves, this one, these two triangles, that should move closer to us, and then we can descend. There's Dusty. Oh, he's flying already. Wow, that's cool. Super cool. Okay, there it is. I can hardly see the airport though. There you go. At higher view. Okay, there it is. Glide slope is captured. Going full flaps here for landing. That is so cool. Let's get a visual on the outside here. There he is. Formation flight. Close enough. There you go. Okay. Now the winds are pretty good. Headwinds right now 199 at 32 knots. Oh my goodness. Please no. Yeah, but it's all headwind, so at least that's good for us. And I think we can actually go a bit slower here. I'm actually not sure if this plane, full prop, full mixture for the landing. I'm actually not sure if this plane is affected by the flaps issue. For those of you who have heard about it, with this latest patch, Microsoft actually accidentally created a new bug that the flaps are twice as effective in terms of giving lift as they should be. So the effect is the planes tend to float a lot more, especially during landing and flaring. There we go, that's more like it. Yes. Pitch up, pitch up. Oh, that is bumpy as heck, my goodness. The turbulence here. Do we have any mountains nearby? And I can hardly see what's below, because the Mooney by default has that very strange angle of attack, you could say. Maybe that when it's landing, it's normally pitching up, so it's harder to see the runway below. Looks good. You can actually hear vaguely Dusty's engine buzzing from just pretty close to us. There we go, beautiful. Let's keep that. Just trim a little. Throttle to idle. And from here, just keep it steady. Keep it going. Floating, that's okay. There we go. I'll take that. Whoa! Yeah, that's one of the weird things. Alright. Oh, I have to apply a lot of right rudder. Interesting. Very nice, thank you. Thanks to those headwinds, that is. Now where's the taxiway out of here? It's actually... There's actually nothing here. Oh, it's on the opposite side. Okay, looks like I'll have to back taxi. Where's Dusty? I'll try not to smash into him. Oh, there he is. Okay. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to record it. Dang it. Let's try to record it now, so at least the takeoff will be recorded. Yeah, it's still not part of my checklist. Okay. But Skypark was able to determine to detect that. Good. So the next one is Leeds, Bradford. Ooh, that's a pretty famous place, right? It seems very familiar. What is it famous for? Oh, but let's discover the Humber Bridge first. Do we have that as a waypoint in here? Humber Bridge, I think so. Oh, sorry. I was looking outside. I think the Lincoln Cathedral is also a bit nearby. Yeah. So maybe we can go and visit the Lincoln Cathedral first and then go back north to Humber Bridge. Or Humber Bridge first and then Lincoln Cathedral. I think that can work. Echo Golf November Mike. You know what? I'll just plug it in manually later. I hope that doesn't destroy any of these flight plans here. There's Dusty. Can I actually see that? Yeah, that's nice. So if you have the plane, you can see the model itself. Cool. If I try to reset the flight plan, does that work? I hope this doesn't crash. Delete flight plan, that's the one. Okay. Just to clean it out, good. A board Bernard, yeah, Mooney M20R by Carinado. Very nice for visual flights, VFR flights. Humber River is what gives the area to the north its name, Northumbria. Ah, cool. Alright, let's wait for Dusty to How do you usually do formation takeoffs? I guess you wouldn't be staying in the middle of the runway. You would each be occupying one side of it or something. So let's let Dusty work on that one on the right. And let's set our flaps for takeoff. Alright. And let's go. 3, 2, 1, go. I don't know how to coordinate that, but let's hope that works somehow. Okay, so we'll stay here on the quarter line and take off, right? So should be somewhere at the back. Positive brake, tap the brakes, gear up. Laps going up. Let's look for him. There he is. Beautiful. Let's turn right here. Look for the Humber Bridge. Lights can go off. Wow, that's a steep climb. And yeah, the clouds are catching up to us a little bit more, and we might have to switch to fake weather here just to be able to continue the sightseeing. It would be a shame because these winds are going to be very exciting, supposedly, especially if we have to do some crosswind landings. Humber Bridge should be this way, a bit on the left. Okay, just manually changing it like so. Okay, I'll see. 1,000 feet, let's stick there. Stick to that one. Let me work on the mixture here. Leaning the mixture. It peaks out at 1580, so around 1530 EGT is what we're targeting. That would be the lean of peak for cruise. That should give us proper fuel economy. Looks good. 1,000 feet, more up close and personal with the ground. Hopefully not too much. It looks like the bridge is over here on the left side though. Okay. Hey Mike, thanks for joining. Glad you made it. What time is it there? Sorry, yeah, I've been mentioning to the guys, not my usual time for streaming, but couldn't resist the pull of the UK tour. That looks like a bridge. There you go. Humber Bridge. There it is. I think I'd like to slow down though, if possible, so we can grab a nice view of that. It would be a nice way. 5:53 a.m. in the UK. Does that mean you're still awake or you've woken up already? For me, that would mean I woke up already. I'm the opposite of a night owl. So this is the Humber River, I imagine, and that's the Humber Bridge. Still awake after last night. My goodness, you guys are amazing. I can't even imagine how to manage that. You don't sleep that much. I see. So, which angle should we take here? Because I'll be doing an active pause in a bit. Okay, let me stop recording here. I don't know how to play that later. I'll worry about that later. Looks like there's something wrong with the water though. Water masking. Yeah. Looks like the water is actually on the level of the bridge here. Come on, play the audio please. Humber Bridge. Let's get some speed brakes action here, so we can slow down a bit and tour the place. One minute.
The Humber Bridge, near Kingston upon Hull, East Riding of Yorkshire, England, is a 2.22 kilometer single-span road suspension bridge, which opened to traffic on the 24th of June 1981. When it opened, the bridge was the longest of its type in the world. It was not surpassed until 1998, with the completion of the Akashi-Keikyo Bridge, and is now the 11th longest. The bridge spans the Humber, between Barton upon Humber on the south bank and Hessel on the north bank, connecting
nice.
the East Riding of Yorkshire with North Lincolnshire. Both sides of the bridge were in the non-metropolitan county of Humberside until its dissolution in 1996. The bridge can be seen for miles around and from as far as Patron in the East Riding of Yorkshire and out to sea miles off the coast. It is a Grade I listed building. By 2006, the bridge carried an average of 120,000 vehicles per week. The toll was £3 each way for cars, which made it the most expensive toll crossing in the United Kingdom. In April 2012, the toll was halved to £1.50 each way after the UK government deferred £150 million from the bridge's outstanding debt.
Very nice. You guys know me and bridges. They have a long-standing history. Beautiful. Now the problem is, how the heck do we take a photo of that? Well, if I can use my replay ability, that would be great. So what I can do is I can just fly over here like normal, and then later I'll try to see if I can take a photo and manipulate it a bit more. Something like that might be a nice photo. Something banked to the left like this, maybe. Yeah. Let's see if I can do an active pause kind of deal here. Sorry, Dusty. Just taking a photo. Yeah. Not as scenic, but I'll take it. Also not very scenic because of the weather, but we work with what we have. Actually, that might be a lot better shot, huh? Nice. Okay, we're gonna buy this game. Don't know if your GPU will handle it though. What's your GPU? It's not very well. Let me rephrase that. Yeah, as long as your GPU is enough, it shouldn't be the main bottleneck. Right now, the GPU is not the most how do you say? Not sure how to word it, but even the less powerful GPUs can handle this sim quite well. It's mainly a problem on the CPU side. Well, not really on the CPU side either, on the optimization side. That's holding it back. But when I had the 1070 before, I was able to manage 30 FPS just fine, sometimes even 30 to 40. And when I moved to the 3080, my FPS was mostly still the same because of some bottlenecks not on the GPU side. So it was mostly still the same, around 30 to 50, maybe increased by around 10 FPS at most. But I was able to set all the graphics settings to ultra. So everything maxed out, although it's the same FPS. So next stop, Lincoln Cathedral. So we'll be heading south here. Something like this. GTX 970. Oh yeah, I think you should be able to manage. I had the 1070 and 30 FPS was very much a sure thing. So with the 970, you should be okay as well. Just maybe a bit toned down settings. Looking good. You can increase the manifold pressure here, push on the throttle a bit. Lincoln Cathedral, so it should be in front of us, more or less. i3-9100F. I see. I'm not very familiar with Intel stuff, but i3-9, that means it's a 9 series, right? Something like that. It's an i3, so it doesn't have as many cores. But this sim is not a big fan of, well, it does have some multi-threading, but doesn't really maximize that so much. So I think you might have a chance there. You might have a chance. Yeah, and if you buy it from Steam, actually I'm not sure how that works, but supposedly if you buy it from Steam, you should be able to refund it after 2 hours, right? In case it doesn't work. The problem is, if you buy this from Steam, you download it, it's only like 1 gig, but then inside, once you load the game, technically the sim, it downloads like 100 gigs technically while the sim is loading. So most probably, in terms of the number of hours that Steam is recording, you'll be more than 2 hours by the time you get a chance to play it. So I'm not sure if they have a special clause for that. They should. I'm just not familiar with it. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Let's take a photo. Oh, sorry. Wrong photo. There you go. See, right now I'm at 30 FPS. Even lower. Actually, my GPU is getting pushed here. Not sure why. Maybe because of these clouds. Normally, when I get these lower FPS, the GPU is not really struggling. My goodness, that's not very good. These clouds are getting lower and lower. We're at 1,000 feet and we're still getting through them. Yikes. I have a 3080 now, so that doesn't look very nice, huh? In terms of FPS. But yeah, the sim is not that optimized when it comes to GPU. Like, even those with a 3090, they don't get very far in FPS. But on the opposite side, even those with a not so powerful GPU, they don't get that bad of an FPS. That's why a lot of people, for example, coming from a 1070 and then getting a 3090, they're a bit disappointed with how, like, it doesn't double or triple their FPS. It just like increases by around 10 or so, because there are more things happening than just the GPU side. Although in our case in particular, it seems like it's more GPU oriented. Not sure why that is. There's something else going on here. Well, me streaming is also for sure taking a toll on my system. But it shouldn't be that much. At least it wasn't before. Like before, on a Mooney like this, I would be getting around 40 to 50 at least. I have seen that there are some bug reports with the latest update saying something about a problem on the performance, so that might still be there. Are we still live, guys? Because my OBS just flickered here. 1 second, I'll catch up to chat in a bit, okay? Give me a second. Stream preview. There you go. Follow the video on YouTube with some recommendations to improve FPS. 50 FPS with ultra settings, nice. I'll need to have a look at that. What I use was so it's in the mods list as well. I saw an article which took a look at all the settings in the, how do you call this? Took a look at all the settings, the graphic settings. Measured their performance and their impact on the image quality, and that's what I followed. 10 out of 10, thank you. Right, that's good. Thankfully, even with lower FPS, it's still stable, so it's not stuttering. So it feels smooth. You don't really feel that you are on a low FPS so much. ETS or ATS must be amazing with a 3090. It is, but you won't be able to max it out for sure, because ETS2 and ATS, I mean, with a 3080 it's a bit overkill already. Oftentimes I would be CPU limited, because ETS2 and ATS are currently not multi-threaded for the most part. So oftentimes your single thread, the clock speed, you would be limited by that. So you won't be maxing out your GPU so much. And yeah, that's one of the common expectations. Like when you upgrade from a 1080 to a 3080, for example, you would expect FPS to double based on the GPU power. But with games, it's always still it depends kind of thing. Then 1080 Ti, but they're too expensive at the moment. Yeah, unfortunately right now GPUs are super expensive because of all the shortages. If you remember, Yayax, what was the major setting that you changed that gave you a lot of FPS boost? Was it in-game, a certain setting in-game, or did it have to do with NVIDIA control panel? If you remember anything, that would be great. Although I think there is something wrong with this latest update, because right before this update we were flying with the Mooney and everything was silky smooth, around 40-50 FPS, all ultra 1440 resolution, and the GPU was not getting maxed out at all in that scenario. Now it is all maxed out. So something has changed. Just not sure what. We'll have to wait for the further developments. In the meantime, we can still very much enjoy the scenery here, although yeah, the cloud cover is really not a good sight right now. We'll have to go even lower. Thankfully, this is a pretty flat area. Pretty low, no hills whatsoever, all plains and whatnot. All farmlands, cool stuff. Yeah, it looks like we'll have to go lower, like 500 feet or something, because the clouds are slowly reaching up to us, or reaching down in our case. DPI option. Interesting. Okay, I'll have a look. Thanks. The game mode is a bit of a question mark. I think through the different Windows updates that has gotten mixed recommendations. But maybe for Flight Sim it's a different story. Like before they were recommending game mode to be off, and then in a more recent Windows update they were recommending game mode to be on now. At least from a content creator point of view. OBS Studios, stuff like that. But with regard to Flight Sim itself, that might have a different setting in there again. Is that the cathedral that we're seeing in front? You guys see it? Might be. Looks more like a castle though. My goodness, that looks good. This is the kind of auto exposure that SES should be targeting, I believe. Look at Dusty following there. I don't have those skills. Matching airspeed and following like a pro. Thankfully he can just go just fine. Share the link. Unfortunately Nightbot is here and he's pretty vigilant. I could permit you, but I'll have to type the word. Otherwise Nightbot will time you out. If I get my hands free for a bit, I'll do that. But you can also share it in Discord. In Discord you can share it easier in case you're there already. ! Discord if you are interested in joining. Yeah, that would be great. I saw a video from, well, I saw that there was a video from, what's his name? A YouTuber. Maybe that's the same video that we're referring to. But it might be a different story with this latest update. I'm not so sure. I have to check. Thanks, Ajax. Thanks also for the follow. Appreciate it. This is such a scenic view. Everywhere you look. Yeah, this is like the perfect plane for these kinds of flights. just hand flying the entire way, just battling with the winds. This is also why I don't want to go to the fake weather, to the preset weather, because the dynamic winds, they're different each time in live weather. They're so, like, the experience is so different. With live weather, you have to constantly adjust. Approaching Lincoln. Let's hear more about it from our tour guide in a bit. See you there, Ajax. Thanks. There is a flight sim channel there where you can post a video. I also have an on-air VA, which I must admit I'm not so active in at the moment, because I have been spending my time in Skypark, touring around the place. Oh my goodness, this looks so good. I think we'll have to take a photo here. How though? I'll try and get as close as possible. There it is, Lincoln Cathedral.
Lincoln Cathedral, Lincoln Minster, or the Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Lincoln, and sometimes St. Mary's Cathedral, in Lincoln, England, is the seat of the Anglican Bishop of Lincoln. Construction commenced in 1072 and continued in several phases throughout the High Middle Ages. Like many of the medieval cathedrals of England, it was built in the early Gothic style. Although considered doubtful by some, many historians claim it was the tallest building in the world for 238 years, if so the first building to hold that title after the Great Pyramid of Giza. The central spire collapsed in 1548 and was not rebuilt. Had the central spire remained intact, Lincoln Cathedral would have remained the world's tallest structure until the completion of the Eiffel Tower in 1889. For hundreds of years, the cathedral held one of the 4 remaining copies of the original Magna Carta, now securely displayed in Lincoln Castle. The cathedral is the 4th largest in the UK at around 5,000 square metres, after Liverpool, St Paul's and York Minster. It is highly regarded by architectural scholars. The Victorian writer John Ruskin declared, "I have always held that the Cathedral of Lincoln is out and out the most precious piece of architecture in the British Isles, and roughly speaking worth any 2 other cathedrals we have."
Do a sharp turn here, get another view of the cathedral. You nailed it, super. Yes, I think we have our thumbnail. Lincoln Cathedral right there. Sorry guys, we weren't able to hear the tour so much because I was too busy taking a photo. You guys want to hear that again? Let's play it.
Lincoln Cathedral, Lincoln Minster, or the Cathedral Church of the Blessed Virgin Mary of Lincoln, and sometimes St. Mary's Cathedral, in Lincoln, England, is the seat of the Anglican Bishop of Lincoln. Construction commenced in 1072 and continued in several phases throughout the High Middle Ages. Like many of the medieval cathedrals of England, it was built in the early Gothic style. Although considered doubtful by some, many historians claim it was the tallest building in the world for 238 years, if so the first building to hold that title after the Great Pyramid of Giza. The central spire collapsed in 1548 and was not rebuilt. Had the central spire remained intact, Lincoln Cathedral would have remained the world's tallest structure until the completion of the Eiffel Tower in 1889. For hundreds of years, the cathedral held one of the 4 remaining copies of the original Magna Carta, now securely displayed in Lincoln Castle. The cathedral is the 4th largest in the UK at around 5,000 square metres, after Liverpool, St Paul's and York Minster. It is highly regarded by architectural scholars. The Victorian writer John Ruskin declared, "I have always held that the Cathedral of Lincoln is out and out the most precious piece of architecture in the British Isles, and roughly speaking worth any 2 other cathedrals we have."
There we go. That should have made it a lot better. Awesome. Thanks, Ajax. I'll have a look. Might be able to make that useful as well, to find that useful as well. Okay, let's see. Little nav map, do your stuff, guide us. So we are going to let me load Skypark here again. Echo Golf November Mike, Leeds Bradford. Echo Golf November Mike. There you go. So that guy is actually northwest of us. So around this point would be perfect. Yeah, around this point should be good. Just eyeball it. Although there is another landmark, I think. If you look here, there's York Minster. And we are headed more or less straight toward that point. So let's continue. Around 330 the heading might be. It's an amazing place to stand in. Which one? The Cathedral? Oh, have you been? That looks amazing though. I bet there are views that allow you to go up to the top. It's like an observation deck and a tour. Ah, Dusty's right behind. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks for joining me on the flight. Is that an airport? It is. Nice. Let's get some more. Okay, 1,500 should be good enough here. Let's stay there. Let's get some more visuals on how we get there. Does Leeds Bradford have a VOR? Please do. Oh, it doesn't. Okay, crap. Well, maybe we can find something close that we can use. Come on, give me something. VOR. There is something nearby. 112.10. Okay. So, that's this one. 112.10. Switch that. There we go. That's the VOR. That's nearby Leeds, but not really. I'm all over the place here though. 1 second. Not trimmed out properly at all. So that would be a 2-9er something on the heading to head straight to that VOR. Okay, that's fine. Okay, 1,000 feet per minute. No. Maybe let's climb slower to 1,500. See if we meet up the clouds that way. I'm looking for that marker though. Where are we? Okay, here I see it. York Minster in York. That's the one. Okay. So we should be pushing around 340, I think. Yeah, I think this is a much better plane for these tours because it gives you the nice flexibility of still flying low, still feeling like a proper VFR flight. Fits the small airports, you can land almost anywhere and you can go very fast. So during these times when you're going from airport to airport, landmark from landmark to landmark, you still get a nice sight of everything at a bit of a more accelerated pace. That can work. Let's see if York has a VOR. York is there. And then if you are near York, not really. I think there's an NDB though. That's fine. Make it work. We'll make it work somehow. So we'll probably go to York and then land at the airport we're targeting, Leeds Bradford, and then we'll end the stream there. It's good fun. Good progress on the tour. Enjoying every bit of it. Hope you guys are as well. type it here. No, I'll worry about that later. Clouds still everywhere. That's fine. At least now, if you look at our fuel tanks, they're more or less balanced. 15, 16. Good. York, Minster. Move it a bit to the left. I wish there was a waypoint I could just lock onto. So our GNS 530 here, our avionics here, could detect it. In terms of FPS, it does seem worse than before, but not terribly so that you'll not be able to fly anymore. It's just a lessened experience, a less smooth experience, but still good overall, I think. And maybe the clouds also have something to do with it, or all the planes in the vicinity. So we do have a lot of planes. It's distant here. That might be slowing us down. Multiplayer planes getting loaded and stuff like that. Not sure how much that is a factor. Yikes, clouds again. In real life, I wonder how much of an effect flying over these wind turbines will give the plane. I can imagine that might be a dangerous thing to do. Like, I don't know, some updrafts from the wind turbines, like when going near a mountain. I don't know. Maybe it's not that strong to feel. But I guess in any case, you don't want to be anywhere near those blades. Nice to see though, lots of wind turbines here. And with how strong the winds are in this place, yeah. Those must be getting a lot of energy. We were in New York this time of the year in 2012. This weather is perfect. Oh, this one? This like cloudy, just forever cloudy vibe. Nice. What is this? Looks like there's a narrow river here. I'm not sure if that's a river, more of a like a canal. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Okay, headed towards York, getting there. This is more or less the right heading. Let's keep that pace. If I can trim eventually. There you go. The winds feel a bit different though. Oh yeah, they're pushing me from the back, from the left. Thankfully, these are tailwinds. So our ground speed, if you can see there, is actually 184 knots. We're making pretty good progress here. Oh, there's a city on our left. What is that? Let's see. Drax? I think. That's the one indeed. Oh my goodness, the weather doesn't look so good here. Looks like it's about to rain. Please no. Feels low, looking good. Still have plenty of fuel, kind of. Enough to get to the next airport at least. Get to York and then get to the next airport. That should work. I just love how the look of this plane is. Just all those like steam gauges and digital... Do you call that digital dials? Electronic dials maybe. But all looking pretty old school. So I'm not really a fan of like flying VFR with the G1000, it just feels wrong. It's like it's too high tech for visual flights. Just maybe my impression. This feels more natural. There you go, it's a bit more stable. We see York up ahead? We do. Well, soon enough. Let me double check though. Altimeter here. QNH rather. Oh yeah. I had to change it a bit. Yeah, beautiful indeed. I can imagine it would even look more amazing if we didn't have overcast skies here. Goodness. I remembered when I was still flying an X-plane. The first, I think it might be the first scenery I bought, or at least the most memorable for me, is the Orbix True Earth of the UK. It looks so good. And before I bought it, there's like a free sample. So I downloaded the free sample, tried it out. It looked so great. Weather was perfect. Clouds were minimal. You can see everything in perfect view, perfect visibility. There you go, York Minster, that's the one. And then when I actually bought it and downloaded it and went through all that, when I had Orbix True Earth, when I was loading into the UK and X-plane, it was taking 20 to 30 minutes loading time, guys. This is why I never have complaints when I'm loading stuff in Flight Sim 2020, because I got used to 20 to 30 minute loading times. So I'm pretty happy with this one. But yeah, after loading it up and then the sales period is done, I bought it already. I got the real weather in the UK. the best foot forward during the free sample is done. In the free sample, the weather was perfect. And then when I actually got it, I got the true face. So, yes. Like this, exactly. And even though the view below was supposedly great, I couldn't see anything because of the clouds. But here, thankfully, we have just enough visibility to still be able to appreciate everything below. Let me go outside a bit. There it is. York Minster. Should be triggering the tour soon. Let's have a look from below. Is that a cathedral as well? Or what does Minster mean? Come on. Should be triggering about now. There we go. 2 minutes. This tour.
The Cathedral and Metropolitical Church of St. Peter in York, commonly known as York Minster, is the Cathedral of York, England, and is one of the largest of its kind in Northern Europe. The Minster is the seat of the Archbishop of York, the third highest office of the Church of England, and is the mother church for the Diocese of York and the Province of York. It is run by a dean and chapter, under the Dean of York. The title Minster is attributed to churches established in the Anglo-Saxon period as missionary teaching churches, and serves now as an honorific title. Services in the Minster are sometimes regarded as on the High Church or Anglo-Catholic end of the Anglican continuum. The Minster was completed in 1472 after several centuries of building. It is devoted to St. Peter, and has a very wide decorated Gothic nave and chapter house, a perpendicular Gothic choir and east end and early English north and south transepts. The nave contains the west window, constructed in 1338, and over the Lady Chapel in the east end is the Great East Window, the largest expanse of medieval stained glass in the world. In the north transept is the Five Sisters window, each lancet being over 53 feet high. The south transept contains a rose window, while the west window contains a heart-shaped design colloquially known as the Heart of Yorkshire.
Man, York looks beautiful, doesn't it? The Does it really look like this? It seems like it. Oh, that looks so nice. My goodness. Amazing job they've done here. Love this town. Sure seems like a lovable town from this view. Good choice. El Groxo, let me know if you need help with the mods list, if you're looking for something particular. Welcome to the stream. Guy Fox Inn across from the Minster is a great place to stay. Go there. Maybe you can spot it. Let me know if you spot it. If I can find it at least. Going as low as I can so we get a nice view of the cathedral. There it is. Get some speed brakes so we slow down as much here. Beautiful. Okay, I'm good. Let's head straight to Leeds Bradford. Wind down, cool down. Now, how do we go there? That's a good question. Leeds Bradford, 1 second. Runway 14 I think is perfect for us. Yeah. Proper headwinds again in this case. And we should be headed somewhere around 240. Just eyeballing it from Little Nav Map. Something like that. FS 2020 nailed it. Nice. Great job. Silky smooth FPS as well. I like it. I think I'm getting smoother frames now. Let's have a look again. Still 32, but yeah, very smooth, and the GPU isn't getting maxed out anymore. Something else is limiting it. If I go outside, it goes up to almost 40 with all this detail. I'll take it. Yeah, at some point you start forgetting about the FPS because you're too focused on the visuals. Good. Climb to 1,000 feet and let's get ourselves to Leeds. Couple of folks there, I think. Maybe we'll meet up with some guys. Nice. Dusty's right there. He's probably taking photos as well. Maybe an active pause. But this is so nice. This is an added bonus that I haven't really maxed or haven't really utilized yet. The multiplayer experience. I know a lot of people have been doing like group flights. Being such an introvert, though, I don't get much of a chance or of organizing the group flights. Maybe we should think about that sometime. Flying as a group to a small airport, crowding it out, might be fun. Does this tour have an Edinburgh leg? I'd love to fly along with me on that trip. Let me see. I hope so. I hope so. It should, but maybe later on. Let me zoom it out. See if you can spot it from there because I'm very bad at distinguishing which one it is. Should it be somewhere here? Am I at least in the right region? Lancaster Castle. I have no idea. You let me know here. after seeing that map. Should be more to the right here. Make this should be the most northeast part. So this one, maybe. Newcastle, is it near Newcastle? Edinburgh. That's the next leg. So yeah, we still have quite a ways to go. We started off in London. So London City here, made our way to the east side of the UK. We're still looping around, and then we'll go back the other way on the west. So lots more to explore. I hope I can finish it because it's such a nice tour. But it will take a while. I'll probably fly some of these offline. But I'll try to stream it as much as I can. North of Newcastle, that's Echo Golf Papa November. Oh my goodness, and it hanged. Okay. Just as we are saying, it's stable. Yikes. That's going to be a problem. So, what happened? Let's see. Thankfully, we can continue from there. But yeah, I think I'll... So, thankfully not all is lost. Skypark detected that that was our last location. So we can actually still continue from there. It's just that we have to load everything again. It did crash. And I have no idea why. I can actually start from here and fly there, but it's going to take a while. Echo Golf November Pop. This one? Is it this one? I don't know. What was that you were pointing at? Anyway, I'll look for it later. I do want to finish this flight though. Is there somewhere nearby? Okay, I see an airport that's close. Let me show you. That one. So that's where we were circling around in York. That shows our breadcrumbs. And then we went straight towards Leeds, Bradford here, but that's where we crashed. Or at least the sim crashed. Around Wig Hill Park. Wig Hill Park glamping. Interesting. But yeah, there is an airport right next to it. So we can go and start in UK11 Ruffworth. Is this an airbase? Probably. Yeah, and then we can continue from here. Once we get in the vicinity of this area, we can resume the Skypark flight. And then we'll be able to see if it will crash again. How much time does it take? Yeah, you can count from here. I've started it from scratch. Normally a few minutes. As I mentioned though, I'm not really that particular with it. Because I got used to the 20 to 30 minute loading time in X-Plane when unloading like photogrammetry, satellite imagery areas. So I'm pretty happy with this one. That's a bit of a shame. I think we're done with Bushtalk radio though. Let me close that out. Lessen the resources that we're consuming. Okay, let's try this again. Where was that again? That airport was UK11. Okay, it's 3. Let's see if it will crash again on the same spot. Normally it doesn't crash for me anymore though, but yeah, that's a bit tricky. So let's go maybe 3 PM would be nice. Starting on the runway, 187.21 knots, so that would probably be this one. Yeah, that could work. Okay. Let's load on the runway, why not? Let's load on the runway, so we get it fast. Let's see if it boots up. I actually don't do this as much in terms of loading right on the runway. I don't trust the sim so much that it can like enable all the required switches. So let's double check once we load in and see if there's something that it missed. I'm more at ease with me just setting it up on my own, starting from cold and dark. There we go. Oh, yo. 1 second. Where the heck are we? Stop. Parking brake. Love that sound. Okay. Local QNH. GPS is on. Let's plug Leeds here so we have some kind of reference. Echo Golf November Mike. Maybe we can see that in the nearest airports already. We are pretty close. Come on. There's so many airports. There. Echo Golf November Mike, thank you. Yes. Direct enter. Perfect. Oh, departure airport, that's fine. Okay, there it is. At least now we have an actual visual. Good. Alright, is everything okay here? Lights are on, good. Windows are closed. Flap set for takeoff. Looking good there. Fuel is okay as well. Later trim, I'll turn that on. Okay, good. Alright. Winds are coming from 153 at 12 knots. Okay, it's a bit crosswind still. So let's get that in there. Yeah, you can see that on the windsock as well. Wind's coming from the left. Okay, there you go. Gear up. Nice. Slowly let go of the rudder. Flaps going up. Alright. Good to go. Picking up speed. Getting back some altitude. Hopefully though this time things are a lot better. Ton of time on your normal HDD. Yeah, that might be true. How long does it take for you on average? Yeah, I guess being on an SSD will help a lot. But then that's true with any game, even with Windows booting. That's the biggest change you can do, switching from a hard drive to an SSD. So let me see. Leeds 14, runway 14, okay. We change this course needle to 0.214 just so we have a reference on the runway heading. Something like that. Alright. 2300. Lower that down. Get that back at 1510, 1520 more or less. Get back to 1,000 feet. Do we have Dusty? I hear an engine. Oh, that's just us. Good. Let's continue. See if things will turn out better. Oh, and let's not forget to resume the flight. There we go. Resume it. Awesome. Okay. We're close. Thanks a lot, Dusty. Appreciate the company. Have a good one, man. Hey, Navy Land. Hope you find the mods list useful. Let me know when if you're looking for something specific. What town is this? How do you pronounce that? Miklitwait? No chance of me pronouncing that, at least. It muted me. Ah. Oh, that is Skypark. This one? This is a third-party app. It has its own economy. So you get jobs with it. This is how I'm touring the UK. So it has like a built-in UK tour. Has 27 legs, so I'm just following it. Skypark. One word. It should be in the mods list as well under the third-party applications, I believe. Highly recommend it if you are the type who just wants to fly. But if you're looking for like an app where you can a full-blown economy system where you manage your own planes, manage your company, other economy apps might be better for that, because in Skypark you're the pilot and not the manager. So with Skypark you fly more and the management side is minimal, if any. Oh, nice. Yeah, thank you. Yes, very different streaming time for me. Not usually the time I stream, but had some free time, so thought why not. Thanks, glad you were able to join. And thanks for liking the videos. Let's get to 1,000 feet here. Some of the usual names in the nameplates. See the flight sim guy there, flying an A320. How's our frame rate, by the way? Let's have a look. Did it change? A bit higher. Yeah, actually a lot higher. Although it's still the same smoothness, I can't really recognize it unless I actually see it. Why does it feel like I'm more zoomed in though in this way? Is that just me? 1 second. Just resetting track IR. Okay, there we go. Runway 14 would probably be the best runway for us. It has an ILS approach, so we can tune into that just for additional guidance. 110.90, so I just get that in, switch that out. Actually, I should have also put that in here in the GNS 530 one. 110.9.90. Make that active. That didn't trigger as what I wanted. Maybe it's too far still, but this should change. Oh yes, 1 sec. This one is what I should change. There we go. Switching from GPS to nav mode. That's what it is. And then the course has to be 140, which it is. But this is saying we're on the right. Oh yes, we are on the right. Yeah, makes sense. So let's go next to the airport here. Oh crap, I'm seeing some hills. Not sure if our current altitude will cut it. Best flight external apps. Oh, nice. It's great to hear, man. Yeah. Skypark is great because it has all those tours. It has some handcrafted tours whenever the developers are thinking of a nice scenic route or someone suggests it, they add it up. So it helps you a lot because you don't need to think about where to fly. Let's turn on the pitot heat here because I have a bad feeling. 7 degrees outside. There is a chance things can get a bit messy. Is this Leeds already? It is. Oh crap. Alright, this is Leeds Bradford. That's the one. Right in front of us. And I am just ignoring it. So we get some altitude here. Thankfully we have the ILS tuned. So let's just maybe stay downwind. And we can turn in later. Lights are still on, I believe. Yes, okay, good. Let's make this count. Ooh, very windy. My goodness. Yeah, because we're getting close to hills, the updrafts were a bit more prone to them. Okay. Continue descending, continue getting some distance in. You can see the glide slope creeping up and up and up and up and up. That's good. Okay, so that should give us a bit more space. Alright, now let's go and turn into the final approach course here. 140 more or less. Slow down as well. Let's keep it steady. Stop descending. There's the localizer, going beyond it a bit. That's fine. There's the runway. Okay, perfect. We have visual. Nice. Hey, thanks for following. Welcome to the channel. Hope you are going to be my lucky charm. So we are about to land. Oh, and I should not forget. Let's record this using the new flight recorder. Okay. Propeller full, mixture full. 1 notch of flaps. Landing gear going down. Wow, we are really getting blown off course here. My goodness. Where's the wind coming from? Oh yeah. Very bad, guys. Look at how crosswindy this is. Hello, UK. Crabbing like crazy. There we go. Second notch of flaps. Looking good so far. Bit unstable, but we'll get there. As we get closer to the airport, it should. And as we get lower, the winds ideally should lessen a bit. My goodness, very crabby feeling. Would be nice to see how this would look in the replay. Look at how crab we are. Let's take a photo of that. Going full flaps. Yeah, plug in for Stream Deck. It's free as well. That was made by a Vietnamese guy, I believe. And that same guy was the one who built this free flight recorder. So you can watch your own landings and make like some kind of replay system in place. Blame the windmill. Hey Sparks, how are you, man? Hey Madelek. Very accurate for UK flying. That's what I heard. My goodness, welcome to the stream. Pretty low, but that's okay. My goodness, yeah. Crosswind landing, anyone? No pressure, right? There we go. Can we decrab already? Might be too early, but I want to know if I can land here in the first place. There you go. Okay, good. Left rudder, right aileron. Okay, there you go. Whoa. Whoa. It's windy, guys. It's super windy. Getting blown off like there's no tomorrow. Not the best landing, but thankfully it didn't black screen. Oh my goodness. Whew. That hurt. And looks like we're not even landed properly yet. Whew. Welcome to Britain. Is that a normal thing? Oh my goodness. Very crabby feeling. Any landing you can walk away from. Yeah, words to live by. Words to live by right there. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to experiment because so that's the recording. So this is the flight recorder, same by that same guy, made that by the same guy who did the Stream Deck plugin. That's also in the mods list, Mr. Nguyen. That's why I think he's Vietnamese. So stop the recording there. Before we do anything else though, let me okay, that one. Can I close this maybe? If I close this, will it pause the flight? I hope so. So like if I close that and turn off. Okay, good. I'll save this. And now if I replay it, what will happen? Replay. And now the replay is working. And now we can see how it's looking like. And how much of a crosswind we are encountering here. That's pretty cool. It's working. So what you can actually also do is you can pause the replay and you can scrub which part you want to be in. You can even see your altitude here. So cool, right? And it's free. So far it's working. Yeah, let's resume that. See it from here. Yeah. Look how much I was getting blown off there. That works. That works. Let's look at that from a different angle. Not the best landing, but yes, as they say, right? Tried so hard to straighten out. That's true. Yeah. At least we still landed in the runway. I think I might have stalled there at the last moment already. Lost too much airspeed. I might have flared out a bit too much. But this is cool. You can actually punish yourself so much. Replay that again and again and again. Not that it will change anything, but at least you can appreciate your landings again and again. Oh, cool stuff. And then if we stop replay, does that mean this is us already? Oh yeah, this is us now. So it basically reloads. Ah, I see. I see. Nice. Okay. And oh, that means if I stop the replay here, 1 second, I have an idea. So right now we're still in the replay. I can pause it. Does that mean I can actually replay the landing? I can execute the landing again? Oh my goodness, I thought it was only for viewing. Okay, let's see. Let's try. Resume it. I'm not in full flaps yet though. And if I stop the replay here, does that mean this is me? This is me. Wow. Go full flaps. Nice. So you can do that again and again until you get it right. That's great for landing practice. Wow, okay, second chance, guys. Make this count? Probably not. Second time's the charm. Nice. I didn't expect that you could do that in the replay. I thought it's only for viewing and criticizing your own landings, not doing them again. Okay, looks good. Looking good, full flaps. Ears down. Yeah, I'm learning so many new things as well. And we are pretty low here, my bad. Completely lost the glide slope. But there we are, catching up to it. Still crabbing like crazy. Okay. I've never crabbed so much in a landing. I think this is the most I've ever gotten. Right, let's try to straighten out here. Right aileron to keep us in the center. Come on. Still not so much. Still far away from center, but a lot smoother. I keep getting blown off course. It's intense. I'll take that, that's okay. I'm happy with that already. I wish we recorded it again so we can see for a second time. Goodness. Okay. I am happy with that. Let's end it there. Yes, have a good one, Navy. Thanks for dropping by. I'm also going to end it here. Thank you for keeping me company. Glad we caught each other. Nice stuff. I'm going to be using that flight recorder for the foreseeable future for sure. Looking good. Open the door. Turn off the avionics. Turn off the lights. Should be safe to turn off the engine now. Looking good. Looking good. Morning in Morocco. Oh, you're from Morocco. Nice. It's 3 p.m. here actually. Yeah, very different time zones. Thank you guys for joining though. Appreciate the company. This will go live tomorrow in YouTube for those who missed it. And I'll make sure to point out that powerful flight recorder. Amazing stuff. Cool. I'm sure it has some limitations, but I mean, for what it can do, I'm happy with that. Right, have a good one. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thanks, Patrick. Goodness, you're up late. Appreciate it, man. Have a good one, guys. Clumsy flying. And bye. Catch you soon.